Hello everybody, welcome back into another video. If you do not know me, my name is Cyn. If you do know me, I'm still Cyn. That's not going to change. If you're new here, this video is going to be very out of context for some of you because this is going to be a breakdown that I've owed you guys for a while of where has Cyn been and what is going on with the YouTube channels. Multiple YouTube channels. This is my main one. Synthetic is always going to be my main YouTube channel, my main passion, my pre-recorded Let's Plays. But for those of you that don't know, I do have two other YouTube channels now. One of them is Synthetic Live or Cyn Live. I'm kind of forgetting what I actually call that channel. But that is my reaction channel that I am trying to restart and be a lot more active with. And then I also have a Cyn Live channel, which is all of my live streams, my VODs. We do live stream over there every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So if you want to watch live streams and you don't like Twitch, we do have a dedicated live channel for YouTube, of which I multi-stream from. But this entire video is actually a re-recording because I recorded this video 2 weeks ago. And then I went back and I watched the recording going to post it, and I didn't hit all of the points that I really needed to address. So rather than recording those points and chopping everything together in a video edit, I just decided that I was going to re-record it. And then I got sick, which is going to be a very big topic of this video and why I've been gone for so long. But now I'm feeling a little bit better. I can talk for long periods of time without coughing or needing to blow my nose or whatever was happening at the time. So we're going to get through kind of everything that's been going on. I'm going to give you guys updates on just what has happened with me, explanations of why this channel has seemed to be falling off a little bit, largely just because I haven't been posting, and talk about the plans for the future of the channel. And I know what some of y'all are most interested in: where the hell is Final Fantasy Rebirth? We are going to be talking about that, and I will give an explanation and possible solutions to this issue because there's been a lot going on. And if you're not a part of the Discord or you don't join live streams, you don't really get these updates as often, because those are just the two platforms that I update the most. With Discord, if you're a member of the Discord, it's very easy for me to type out an update and then hit send to all, and everyone who has alerts on for the Discord gets the update, so they know what's going on. But then also for live streams, it's very easy for someone to come in and ask me whatever it is that they need to ask. Where's this video? What's going on with this playthrough? Where have you been? It's very easy for people to ask those things in live and for me to answer in the moment, so people who join live streams can easily get those updates as well. And that is not fair to the greater YouTube population, because YouTube is still my main shtick. It's still my main community. It's just, I just haven't been posting updates. And we're going to jump into that and kind of give a full explanation of everything that's been going on. I'll add timestamps to this video in case people want to jump around and find the information that is most important to them. But firstly, we're going to jump into the million-dollar question of where has Cyn been and why has she been so inconsistent over the past year? So yeah, over the past year, I feel like I've been very inconsistent. I know I've been very inconsistent. There has been a lot going on over the past year, really starting in the beginning of 2024. Yeah, honestly, starting in the beginning of 2024 is kind of in my head where it kind of started to go downhill for content creation a little bit. And the large reason for that is my 9 to 6 job. This is not my main job. For people who do not know, I am a full-time community manager for a public relations firm, and I love my job. In this economy, with everything that's going on in the world, I feel like I'm one of the very few people that is blessed to say that I truly enjoy what I do for work every day. And that is a very rare thing to hear these days. And because I enjoy my work so much in public relations, I like to give a lot of myself to it, because I want to obviously prove to the people who are above me, who are in those higher positions, that I'm good at my job, I'm passionate about it, and please don't add me to the next round of layoffs. Like, you know, everyone else in the world, layoffs are happening everywhere. And I really do enjoy what I do. I like giving my full attention to it, but it is a very draining job in a lot of ways. And I don't like to call it draining but it'll make sense as I explain it. I just don't like using that word because there's other people in the world that have much more demanding jobs than I do. People working in factories or hands-on work or anything that is physically demanding or working in customer service. You guys are heroes. Doctors, nurses. There are other jobs that are much more demanding than my own, but with my job, the reason I call it draining is because it is a lot of mental gymnastics and it's very much a personality game. Working in public relations is a lot like content creation in the sense that when you are in front of a camera, it's not that you have a mask on, but you are giving a more elevated version of your personality. You are making an effort to highlight the better parts of your personality while trying to diminish the worst parts. You know, you want to give people a certain image of you. So content creation and public relations kind of go hand in hand in that sense, where you are very much aware of how you are acting at all times, and it becomes a little bit draining because it constantly feels like you are on. It constantly feels like you are mentally aware of what you're saying, how you're acting, how other people are reacting to you, and it just becomes a little bit, once again, draining, my word of the day apparently. It becomes a little bit draining over time. The way that I explain it in the terms of content creation, it's like hosting a party. It's like hosting a party where you feel like you have to be everywhere at once and make sure people are having a good time and be smiley and friendly and making jokes and making sure you're observing the masses. And that does get a little bit tiring at times. So when I switched over to public relations to being a community manager, because that is my job as of the beginning of 2024, previously I was in more project management roles that are not as people-facing and were not as mentally, emotionally, and socially draining. So it was very easy for me to log off work and then immediately log into content creation. But since the beginning of 2024, I have been so hyper-focused on doing well at my job and focusing on the career ladder that it has become very easy for me to put content creation on the back burner, unfortunately, because I never want to give you guys like a low energy version of myself. I really like being honed in. I like being happy. I like enjoying the games that we're playing. So I like being in a certain mood when we jump in to play a game. You know, I like being open, emotionally excited for the experience, ready to talk about it, ready to yap. And sometimes after my 9 to 6 job, a full day of yapping, sometimes I don't want to talk anymore. And that has kind of been what has happened. You know, logging off at 6 o'clock sometimes, especially with streaming involved as well. The way my schedule kind of works right now is wake up at 7, start work at 9, log off at 6 or 6:30, sometimes 7 if there's a crisis going on in the PR world, and then start getting ready at 7 and then live stream at 7:30 or start pre-recording at 7:30, and then I go until 11 or midnight. So it is a very long day of yapping and being socially on at all times. And I'm a little bit of an introvert, actually. I am not someone who goes out looking for other people to interact with. So it goes against my nature a little bit. And just because, once again, I wanted to do so well at my job, content creation fell on the back burner, and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon, because my original plan in 2024 was to prove that I was good at my job in public relations, prove that I was a good community manager, that I was good at social management, and it paid off because now in 2025, I am getting loaned out to other teams in my network who work for either much larger organizations or they are a lot more specialized, and they're looking for a way to enter into markets that I am very ingrained in. Sorry, I'm on a lot of cold medicine, so I'm not sure if I'm explaining that correctly. Because I have such a wide breadth of interests and knowledge into different industries, when a team within my network wants to pitch to a company that might exist in gaming or might exist in cinema or something, racing for Formula One, anything that I'm interested in and I have a background in and I can speak to as a fan, sometimes other teams will reach out to me and want to pull me over onto their team. That way I can give insight for the client pitches that they're doing. And that has been amazing because it feels nice to know that other people think you're good at your job, because once again, job security, really important these days. But that has also led to me being exhausted more often than not, because I also have to balance my actual team and what I was hired to do versus these other teams who are pulling me over into their work streams in order to help them get clients or work on new pitches. And I've just been tired. And that leads into point 2. I have been sick a lot. Starting in 2024, I have been, it feels like sick more often than not, and it ranges from not being able to get rid of a cold or a sinus infection, which is what I have now, versus my actual chronic illnesses. I get migraines, I have fibromyalgia. It has just been a back-to-back series of feeling bad, getting better, then suddenly feeling worse. And that has been exhausting. If you have been joining my live streams, you know there's a lot of the times that I've had to put off a live stream or put off a stream because I've either had a migraine or it's been a bad fibromyalgia day, or I had a cold. I'm just now finally getting over a cold that I have had for about 5 weeks. And I really do think that all comes down to just exhaustion, because when you are not sleeping and you're not eating properly and you're not taking care of yourself and you're letting outside forces stress you out, which has been my whole thing for the past year, your immune system just doesn't work. It can't work because it has no fuel to make you feel better. And I have been suffering because of that. It's on me. It's my own fault. I don't take the time to rest that I should. I am someone who I will try to push through everything that is going wrong, and I don't give my body time to rest, and that more often than not leads me to getting more sick than what I originally was, and then I actually do have to stop working because I've just gotten so sick. There actually was a saying I heard just recently that I really related to, and it was, if you don't take time for your health, you'll be forced to take time for it when you're sick in the future. That has been me. So between work and being sick, that has been my whole thing over the past year. And then there is another element to this that pulls into what has been going on with Final Fantasy Rebirth, which is what a lot of you are interested in. This PC is dead. The PC that we have had going on 5 years, because I got this PC when I moved into my second apartment, because we had my college apartment, my second apartment, which was just the bland beige wall, and this one. We got this PC when I moved into my beige apartment, and it has been with us for so long. She's handled pretty much every playthrough, let's play stream that we have done. She is now officially dead. There's no memory left on this computer. It definitely has a couple of viruses left, and it will not edit videos to save my life. For the update of what's been going on with Final Fantasy Rebirth, the current episode has a lot of broken frames in it for some reason. It's supposed to be at 60 frames, and then for whatever reason, it'll drop down and it'll disrupt the rendering process. And when that happens, this computer, for some reason, just cannot fight through that. It will shut down every other thing that's going on in the PC just to focus on that render, and then the render will break and I will have to start over. There are literally, I'm looking at the number, 36 different versions of that episode that I have tried to render just by going through, watching the video, seeing the broken frames, removing them. it just keeps happening. And one of the bigger reasons why I just haven't sat down and took a day and kind of forced myself to figure out this video is because when the rendering process is happening, this PC completely breaks down. This video in particular will try to render, I was doing this last night, it tried to render, I kid you not, for 7 hours and 20 minutes. And during that time, no other application on my computer would open or work. And it's a very volatile process at this point, because if I even try to click over and open Discord while a video is rendering, the render will shut down and the entire editing program will close out and I have to start again. So while the editing process is going on, I cannot touch this PC, and that is stressful because this is my work PC. This is what I work from. This is what I pre-record from. I might have other things I want to edit or other things I want to record. So when I go to edit videos, it is an entire day's process because I cannot touch this computer, and that has just killed my soul when it has come to this Final Fantasy VII episode. But at this point, I think I have decided that I might skip this episode for a little while because it's a filler episode. It really is. It's me clearing up a bunch of side content before we get back to the main story. Is it fun? I think so, but it is not necessary to the plot, and at this point it's gotten ridiculous because I want to play Final Fantasy Rebirth. I want to finish it, but I didn't want to get too far ahead if I was going to be stuck trying to edit one moment, especially because this PC cannot handle that much data. If I were to continue recording Final Fantasy Rebirth, I would have ended up with a lot of saved data on this PC that would have continued to slow it down, and I didn't want to do that, but at this point, we need to move on. We need to play other games, and we need to finish Final Fantasy Rebirth. So I think I'm just going to be skipping the episode that's giving me the most trouble and just uploading the rest of it, because we have to at this point. So that is the update. I am so sorry if that is not a good enough reason for some people. I know that I think back on the explanation to myself and I'm like, this is dumb. Why didn't you just skip the filler episode and continue editing the other ones? And I personally know why. It's just the way my brain works. I get hyper focused on things and I want things to be correct and right, and when they aren't, it causes like a mental breakdown. But I'm gonna have to move past that because we have things to do. We have games to play. This year, the next 2 years are stacked, and we cannot afford to be getting wrapped up over one episode. So we are going to be skipping that one and moving on to the rest of the playthrough. So that is your update on Final Fantasy Rebirth. So yeah, that is largely the breakdown of where Has Cyn Been. I've been really focused on my 9 to 6 job. I have been sick more often than not, and I am actively trying to fix that. I am on a restart of a health journey, doing anything I can that is within my control to make sure that I am staying healthy, and that might lead to some changes in how I do live streams or how I do pre-recordings, because like anyone who is into health and fitness, sleep is a very big part of staying healthy, sleep and diet. And right now, I feel like I've ran myself so ragged that I'm not taking care of either of those aspects of my life. And it's definitely hindering me more than anything. My desire to keep working is hindering me more than helping me. So we're actively working on those things. That has been what's going on. And now we're gonna talk a little bit about overarching plans for this channel, for the other channels, what to look forward to. That way you guys have knowledge of everything that is going on in kind of the Sin City verse of content creation. So right now I have 3 playthroughs that we are going to get through and we are going to finish. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I am going to finish this game. I enjoy it. I love it. I think the atmosphere is amazing. I'm not gonna let that one broken video get me down. Fingers crossed that the actual story videos do not have the same issue, because I will have a mental breakdown if they do. But we have 3 playthroughs that we're going to be getting through. We have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I am gonna be finishing A South of Midnight because I absolutely love that game. It has been So beautiful to see the cultures that I grew up with shown to the world in such a beautiful and lively way. I love that game and I appreciate it so much and I want to finish it. And I am about to start Expedition 33 this weekend. So that is another playthrough that I'm going to be recording, and most likely it is going to go to paid subscribers first because we have so many other videos that we have to get through. I want to make sure the people who are still paying for content, so that's the patrons and the YouTube paid members, they are getting their early access to videos. So those are our 3 playthroughs that we're focusing on right now. And as far as live streaming goes, I'm still playing through Assassin's Creed Shadows. I'm having a great time with it. It is dragging a little bit. I'm not going to go into full detail, but for those of you who have played the game, it definitely is a very long title if you like side content, which I do, but I feel like it's making things drag a little bit. And then I do have my own opinions on this disjointed, non-linear storytelling that Ubisoft is doing now with the Assassin's Creed games. I'm not the biggest fan of it from a storytelling aspect. I still think the story is amazing because I personally have a research background in that time period of Japan, so I'm really enjoying the historical aspects of it, but it is dragging a little bit. And then the other playthroughs that are definitely going to be live streamed, and I get this question a lot: what makes a game a pre-recorded game versus a live stream game? And really what it comes down to is downtime. With open world games like Assassin's Creed Shadows or GTA 5, which I do think is going to be live streamed, Elder Scrolls Oblivion, games where there is a lot of downtime and exploration, times where as a content creator I might get a little bit quiet, it's very easy to work in chat and chat interactions and that interactive element of live streaming. So that is what determines what becomes a live streamed game, is if there is a lot of downtime. That's also why I do FromSoft games over on live stream as well, because you die a lot and you keep redoing bosses, and that's the name of the game, and that's a great time to interact with the community is while all that is going on. But for live streaming, we might finish Assassin's Creed Shadows. I would love to, but it might lead to me hyper-focusing on the actual story aspects and getting those done. GTA 5 is definitely going to be live streamed, but I think I'm going to keep GTA 6 as a pre-recording for myself because GTA 6 means a little bit more to me as a Floridian, and I really want to experience a lot of that for myself, especially because based off the gameplay trailer, it looks like a good portion of the game obviously takes place in Miami, the Everglades, Fort Lauderdale, which is where I was raised. So I really want to enjoy that. And then there were other things that were top of mind. Death Stranding, I definitely want to play. A lot of downtime in that game. Elder Scrolls Oblivion, I just mentioned that. And Fallout New Vegas, I definitely want to be streaming that, largely because I've heard Fallout New Vegas breaks a lot and my mods are very good at troubleshooting, so I'm going to need them. But yeah, so there's a lot going on with the live stream stuff, and I'm going to have a link to the live stream channel somewhere over on the side, but that is our YouTube live stream channel. That is where the VODs go. I am actively working on getting the VODs uploaded because for those of you that don't know, Twitch has changed its policy on how it saves down our live streams. So it used to be kind of unlimited with the amount of hours you could keep on your channel so long as you saved it as a highlight, but then they went and changed that, and now we can only keep 100 hours of live stream on our Twitch channel at any one time, which was annoying because I had 600 hours of live streams. Just think about the BG3 playthrough, which I still have and I'm still trying to upload, but once again, this PC is kind of a problem with that. But there are so many hours of live streamed content that is now over on the VOD channel. It's just on the back end, and I just have to add thumbnails and SEO and get it posted. So there's an entirely different silo for content over on that side. And I briefly mentioned the BG3 playthrough. What is happening with that is that is such a bulky playthrough that it also kind of ruins this PC. That entire playthrough is saved down in a Google Drive, and whenever I go to download those videos to this PC in order to upload them to YouTube, it's the same issue as trying to render a video recording. I cannot touch this PC for up to 5 hours when I just move one video, just because of the size of those videos being uploaded and offloaded. It has been a headache. Good news for that I did not mention is that I do have a new PC order out with Digital Storm. They are a team that pre-builds PCs and will send them to you. The issue with that is that I ordered it in January, still haven't gotten it because, like anyone knows, there's a lot going on with trade and imports for technology right now. And I am on back order for a 5090, which I'm very excited for, but obviously 5090s are kind of hard to get at this time with everything that's going on. So hopefully the company has said it's likely that I will get my PC sometime beginning or middle of May. And then once we have that brand new PC, I worked with my mods to build it. It has all the bells and whistles, so we're gonna be able to really dig into games like Cyberpunk. That's another one we're going to live stream, and just be able to like do everything, and that PC should be able to handle it. But once we have that PC, this old PC, I'm going to transform into a computer that I just use to kind of maintain the back end of everything. So once I get this older PC where I can clean it up, where it's not as bulky and slow as what it is now, I'm going to just be using this computer to manage and maintain like the VODs on the back end, maybe use it for a little bit of editing for the reaction channel. I have a plan. It's just gonna take a second to execute that plan because of everything that's going on. Reaction content. Reaction content is something that I started at my old apartment, and I did not enjoy it because I was editing the videos for myself. And for anyone that has tried to edit a reaction video for themselves, it is not fun. There are so many rules around what you can show, what you can't show, copyright, trying to make sure you blur the right images, but then also that you're keeping the image and the audio from the original source in the right places in order to tell a cohesive story for the reaction. I did not enjoy making reaction content at all. But now we do have a full-time editor that I am working with who's done my edits for the Fallout TV series, which that is going to be finished. I have all of those recordings. I just need to upload them. The final 3 episodes need to be edited, and then we'll upload those, and then I'll start working on The Last of Us. But I'm actively working on a new schedule to help balance pre-records, live streams, and reaction content. And the way I think it might be working is that I at least want to upload 3 movie reactions a month. That in my head is what I would like to do. We will see how that ends up panning out because there's just multiple things to that. It's finding time to actually sit down and watch whatever it is I'm dedicating to watching. And I know that sounds kind of dumb because some people are probably like, it's just a reaction. How hard is it to sit down and watch a movie or a TV show? For me, it's fairly hard. With ADHD, I don't necessarily enjoy sitting down to just watch something unless I'm watching it with someone else to like have something to split my attention between. And then also, I very much work on opportunity cost in my own head. So every hour I spend doing reactions is an hour I lose doing pre-recorded in video games. And video games and pre-recording and live streaming is still my main passion. It's still where my heart is. So that takes precedence over reaction content. But working on a roadmap on how I'm going to schedule all of that out. And definitely I'll also have the link somewhere over to the side for the reaction channel. But I am going to finish my Fallout reactions, and then I'm going to finish my Last of Us reactions. I do have the first 2 episodes recorded. I still have the first 2 episodes recorded. I watched them as soon as the episodes aired. They're just not edited, and I'm going to be working on that. But yeah, I'm running out of breath now. But that is overarching the updates that I wanted to share, just kind of where I've been, what's been happening with the channels, what the updates are for the future of this channel, my reaction channel, my live streaming channel, and most importantly for some people, what has happened to Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I am working on being more consistent across the board. It's just not going to be an overnight change or an overnight success, because there's a lot of things in my personal life I have to figure out before I can get back to fully dedicating to content. And one of those things, like we spoke about earlier, is my overarching health. I'm very sick right now. That's why I'm taking very large breaths when I go to pause, because my lungs just aren't taking in the oxygen that they need to be taking in right now. So I'm slowly working on getting my health back in order. That way I do have the energy and the time to fully dedicate myself back to content creation, and having content creation and my actual life rebalanced like they used to be. At least that is the hope, is that I will be able to balance, you know, the content and the 9-to-6 job, and then being an actual human who has social needs with friends, family, and the need to sleep and eat on a regular schedule. But that is just what has been happening. That is the update that I owed you guys. And hopefully this will be more of a consistent, once a quarter update where I sit down and I talk to you guys about everything that's going on, for people who don't like to join live streams so you don't get those updates. And hopefully the next couple of updates will be much more positive, because hopefully I will be sleeping more, eating properly, being able to get those pre-recorded schedules down like I want them to. Hopefully work will still be going well. But we are looking forward to hopefully a lot more optimistic updates in the future. So yeah, that is everything. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you have made it to the end, thank you so much for caring about this update, for caring about the content that I make. And just a massive thank you to absolutely everyone who has ever engaged with anything I have ever put out on the internet in the past 5 years. Whether you know, watch a video all the way through, or you skip through to find the parts that you're really interested in, whether you comment or you don't comment, you don't like and you don't subscribe, but you also just kind of ghost and you still do watch my videos, whether you join live streams and you like to chat, or you join live streams and you don't chat, you just watch in silence. Any way that my content has ever been engaged with is just so greatly appreciated, because it is wild to think back on how we started and where we are now, and to just put in retrospect the fact that complete strangers care about my journey playing video games. That is so beautiful and so humbling at the same time, and I can't thank you guys enough for all the love and support over the past 5 years, because there's been obviously a lot going on, and this community and how much you guys care and the reactions that you guys give me and the energy that you guys give me has really been what has allowed me to stick through all the random hardships that have come up, all the roadblocks and issues between content creation and my real life. Like, this community is why I am still here enjoying this hobby, and hopefully I'll still be able to enjoy it for the next decade down the road, because I'm gonna be playing video games my whole life, and I would love to continue to share those experiences with you guys if you care to watch them. But enough sappy stuff. I have talked y'all's ears off. I hope that you have enjoyed this update for what it is and are looking forward to the Let's Plays that are coming out in the future. Thank you guys so much for all the love and support, and I will be seeing you guys very soon for future gameplays. Bye now.